Hey everyone, hope you're well. I'm here with the Emerging Proud campaign news update, which is very exciting, and hopefully you'll feel that it's been worth the wait. As most of you know, Mick, Jeanette and I were planning to set up Emerging Proud as a community interest company to enable us to apply for funds. The application to Companies House for that was refused due to very minor detail, but we took this as a sign that perhaps that wasn't the best approach. We were kind of getting bogged down in the governance and really just wanting to get on with the work. Since then, I've been synchronistically introduced to a wonderful aligned charity called The Missing Kind. And I've had some very successful meetings with them. And just yesterday, they have agreed to act as the official benefactor to seed fund an Emerging Proud project to operate under the umbrella of their full charitable status, plus ring fence any extra funds that we raise through donations for this particular project, which I'm going to explain to you. This offers us transparency and sustainability, and it frees me up to start the action, which I'm really overjoyed about. So the project itself, in collaboration with The Missing Kind, will be called The Emerging Kind. So I'm going to give you an overview of that now, the synopsis that I put in the project proposal. So for the last 5 years, I've been working to support what I see as the missing kind in society, people who are alienated and often marginalised and even pathologised due to feeling like they don't fit into the world as it is today, disconnected and overly technocratic. In October 2016, we launched the social campaign, Emerging Proud, encouraging these people to emerge proud, to share their personal stories and passion for creating the new paradigm, a world based on compassion, reconnection, and celebration of the unique gifts everyone has to offer. These individuals are now connecting all over the world. They are the emerging kind. People who have experienced a spiritual awakening which has inspired them to give back. Waking up makes us more conscious of our impact on each other and on the planet. The Missing Kind charity has the opportunity now to facilitate the Emerging Kind project, growing the network of its own project, Kinder Cafes, to create a global network of empowered peers to act on their individual passions, share their unique gifts, and to create a more connected and compassionate world that we're both talking about. The Emerging Proud brand already has a global reach and a positive social reputation, which is very much aligned with the vision and the ethos and the mission of the Missing Kind charity. So this collaborative project aims to build on this global virtual reach through the co-production of tangible peer support groups to bring this vision into reality. And some of the outcomes that we hope to achieve through this project over the next year are in line with the objects of the Missing Kind, the advancement of health and saving of lives. Obviously, we know that research into what's most important for people experiencing the awakening process and preventing the associated distress, including possible suicide, says that the most important interventions are reducing isolation, providing validation and personal experience. And the Emerging Kind project will provide this to approximately 400 people over the next year. We want to empower individuals to make a difference to people, planet and animals, facilitating the development of compassionate, self-sufficient local support groups, spreading kindness and skill sharing, and seeding their own kindness projects in line with your own unique passions. We will increase inclusivity and connectivity through the emerging kinds to each other in your own geographical locations, to mobilise in-person connections irrespective of class, gender, ethnicity, religion, sexuality, or anything else that can lead us to separation. Finally, we aim to provide education and training to develop awareness and raising opportunities, welfare support and educational workshops. So an overview of the project is that we will fund 40 peers to take part in the Assist Peer Facilitator training with Elizabeth Sabat. And these 40 peers will form a group which are called the Emerging Kind at an international level. Over the first part of that year, 6 months, first phase will include 20 peers in the UK, which the Missing Kind have agreed to fund up front. This is really exciting for us all. I know many of you who have been through the spiritual emergence process can't afford to do the training. So this will facilitate those of you who have the skills and passion to take part in this study. So the Missing Kind charity also runs a project called Kinder Cafes. They're kind of a pay it forwards type enterprise. And the Emerging Kind project will aim to increase the number of Kinder Cafes globally through the local peer support groups adopting the same model. And this can be as small as sharing a cup of tea in someone's lounge on a regular basis if you're all supporting each other under the ethos of the groups. So the plan going forwards is that 20 peers in the UK will be invited to apply to take part in this project for phase 1, and then a further 20 over the next 6 months on an international level. Following the training, each peer will then be supported to organise a free film, Emerging Proud film screening in your local area, which I'll come and deliver to attract the people that resonate with this framework of understanding their experience, and initiate the local support groups, which each peer would then go on to facilitate on an ongoing basis. Those support groups would then be provided with the model for the Kinder Cafe, and those Kinder Cafes will be your self-sustaining, ongoing local support group. The Emerging Kind groups will be all listed on a World Awake website, Emerging Proud website and the Missing Kind website. And all of the trained peer facilitators will be also listed on the Assist website. This opportunity also enables us to restart the story sharing platform in the form of a blog and the interviews, as we have done over the last 8 months, and with the possibility of creating the Emerging Kind book and possibly another film. I'm going to be starting a crowdfunding campaign for the second phase of the project, which will facilitate the second batch of 20 peers to be trained and it to be rolled out at an international level. This gives us the opportunity to fundraise via an established charity for an ongoing period, and the Missing Kind will ring-fence any funds we raise to help sustain Emerging Proud on a longer-term basis. Our main longer-term shared goal, which is really exciting, is to have a mobile safe space welfare van that travels around to raise awareness and offer crisis support to people who are going through the emergence process, particularly at festivals when people go into an altered state of consciousness and they struggle to transition back into society. This Emerging Proud Facebook group will not be a discussion space anymore. That's just too much to oversee. But I'm going to keep it open for sharing news on ongoing blogs and progress of the project. If you haven't already, please do join Shades of Awakening Forum to continue the amazing discussions that have been happening here, and I really appreciate everybody that's been taking part in those. Please also make sure you sign up to the blog on emergingproud.com, and I'll be sharing very regular updates about this project and also more news and details about the Missing Kind charity who we're collaborating with. The expectations for any peers that are interested in taking part in this project is that you need to identify as a peer, having been through your own crisis and emerged transformed in some way. We all have ongoing struggles, and there's absolutely no expectation that you are in a place of complete recovery, whatever that may be, but just to be able to be integrated enough with your own experiences to kind of hold space for people who may be struggling and experiencing difficult emotions. So able to kind of sit with your own triggers and manage that for a group. You also need to be motivated to create change for a more kind and compassionate world, and a world that is more open to understanding extreme spiritual experiences and psychological transformation within the framework that Emerging Proud provides. You will need to undergo a 12-week training course with Elizabeth of Assist. You would need to commit to take part in this and regular liaison with me so that we can produce our outcome reports on the project's progress, and also obviously to organise your local film screening and local support group. You would need to operate under the ethical guidelines of the Assist training, which I'll obviously provide you with. You also need to commit to regular supervision sessions with Elizabeth after your training to ensure that everything is going well and that you can manage any issues that might arise. You would need to commit to setting up a self-sufficient regular peer support group after your training in your local area. This could be preferably weekly or fortnightly, but possibly monthly, as long as they are regular safe spaces for people to come and talk about their own process and to support each other, share skills, and offer kindness and compassion to the group. This would have the longer term aim of becoming a kinder cafe, which may also offer the opportunity for a business model if that's of interest to you. So if you're interested, I'll be inviting people to email me at mendthegap@hotmail.com with a statement to say why you feel you're the right person to take part in this project and become part of an international network of the Emerging Kind peers. I'll then email you further details of the application process with Elizabeth and Assist, and obviously as we go on we'd have regular calls to discuss how the project will develop. I'll also write the information that I've just stated here in a newsletter and share that with you so that you have guidelines around what to do if you're interested in taking part. There's a lot of information there that I've just shared, I'm aware. So yeah, if you just watch out for that written report and follow the instructions if you are interested. I'm really hoping that many of you who have emerged proud and taken part in the blogs and the film will decide that this is of interest to you, and you will be given priority as part of the Emerging Proud community to do that. But anybody will be considered if they consider themselves a peer and in a place kind of able to hold space for people and ready to give back. Finally, we're going to be having the 3-month reflection call post Emerging Proud campaign launch. So that will be for each of the international reps that held an event in their country and any of the group conveners from London who have started a project which was seeded on that day. I'm going to be creating another international report based on that 3-month outcomes. Yeah, so there we go. Quite exciting news, I hope you'll agree. So I will be updating you with a newsletter very shortly, and in the progress of creating a logo for the Emerging Kind page on the Emerging Proud website, liaising much more with the Missing Kind project to move this forwards, and I'll keep you posted regularly as we go on. Okay, lots of love to you all.